cold, but we're just not going to worry about that.
Okay.
All right.
We are here with Miss Barker. She's an MMC teacher here at Buffum Elementary School. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, first question. Pretend that you're trying to convince someone to relocate to Long Beach. What are some of the city's strengths or positive attributes you would use in describing this community?
The location. Definitely the location. In Long Beach, we are at the beach, and not just Long Beach, which has got its own port and areas, but also we're close to a bunch of other beach cities. So there's all the beach activities. So there's surfing and sailing and parasailing, paddleboarding, and all of that kind of things. But there's all the little communities with the restaurants and stores and tourist attractions there. But we're also 20 minutes from downtown Los Angeles with the museums and theaters and restaurants in downtown Los Angeles and the tourist attractions of downtown Los Angeles. We're close to, I think we're 15 minutes from Disneyland, 15 minutes from Knott's, which is another amusement park. We're close to Legoland. We're close to Magic Mountain, which are two more amusement parks. We're an hour and a half from the mountains and skiing and lakes. We're an hour and a half from San Diego. So it's just an ideal location. And then you've got the weather that, right now it's the middle of February. Yesterday it was 78, 79 degrees. Today it's 76. It might even be close to 80. I had the air conditioning on in my classroom. What is there to not love about that?
Yes, cool. Thank you.
Wait, one more thing. Long Beach also has a very, very diverse population and very diverse communities. You can buy a house or get an apartment in very funky, artsy neighborhoods. You can get a house at the beach in a very beachy kind of area. You can have a house in a very suburban environment. You can have a house in a very city-like environment. There's neighborhoods that are very strong Cambodian, neighborhoods that are very Latino, neighborhoods that are very African American. It's a very diverse community with very diverse neighborhoods.
Thank you. Would you be able to convince someone to come work for Long Beach Unified? If so, how?
I think so. I think Long Beach Unified, if you're an innovator, as an educator, if you're innovative, if you like thinking outside of the box, if you like taking risks, this is definitely the district for you. If you're somebody who wants to teach second grade for the next 25 years, and every September pull out your September folder, every October pull out your October folder, this is not the district for you. Long Beach is looking for creative, innovative people who want to take a risk. They are the first district to institute uniform policies. They're the first, they take risks all the time. And it's okay to fail at your risk if you're trying to improve and make changes. So if that's the kind of person you are, this is a district you should be in. If you're a boring, dull person who wants to do the same thing again and again and again, don't come. But who wants to work with those people? So don't come.
Okay, in your mind, what are the top 2 or 3 issues that both Long Beach and its school district are facing today?
I think the same issue that schools across the country are facing. It all has to do with budget. That how do you support students with a lower budget? And then how do you support students with a lower budget? And then how do you then support teachers and administrators with a lower budget? And it all is circular and it all backs up onto each other. So if you have less money to support students, now you've got larger class sizes. And with larger class sizes, how are you then supporting those teachers? And there's less money to provide counselors in the office, VPs in the office. So if a teacher has a hard time with the student, what does the teacher do? Send them to the office, but there's nobody in the office to help out. There's no money for that. So I think the budget, that rolls. Plus now, where's their professional growth? In the old days, there was money to go to conferences. There were in-service days where people would come in for professional growth. That money is all gone. There were books and supplies, and that's all considered gravy now. There was extra money for materials beyond books and paper. That's gravy. That's gone. So all of that is just a domino effect. teachers who don't have the skills that they need, classroom management, curriculum understanding. There used to be people in the district whose job it was to go out to classrooms to help with classroom management. That's considered gravy. Those positions are gone. People who didn't understand the curriculum. There were people who went out and helped them with the curriculum. That's considered gravy. So budget, it seems like it's one thing, but it just spirals down. And then there's the stuff that has been around forever. You know, in the United States, we think if one standard is good, 500 are better. But kids get hung up on having to learn all these little tiny things instead of looking at super standards. And if they understood this really well, these things would fall into place. And so I think that's an issue. It's always been an issue. I think at one point, are we going to make parents accountable? You know, it's the teacher's job to make sure kids are fed and that kids are happy and that kids do their homework and that kids are, at some point, parents have to be held accountable. How that would look, I have ideas, but nobody's asked me. So I mean, I think there's other things, but I think in today's world, the top thing is budget, because so much spirals off of that.
At Buffum, how would you describe your school to a friend in one sentence?
I wrote it down, so excuse me while I read it. And I'm old, so I can't see. A nurturing place where pre-K special ed, mild moderate, deaf hard of hearing, and mild moderate communication students can get schooling and services to get a strong start on their educational career.
Perfect. I love that.
Well, that's what I said.
As honestly as possible, knowing none of the other staff are going to view this, how can things improve at your school?
What I wrote was, I wish that everybody at this school did embrace change and innovation. Because while I said that's what the district wants, and that truly is what the district wants, obviously not everybody who gets hired into the district has that mindset. And so while I wish that's how it was, it's not. Saying that, the administration here wants change, and there's a core, the core group of teachers here does want change. So I think the school is a great place to be, and I think there is change. I don't think the school is stagnating. I don't think the school will ever stagnate. I think that the school is a good place, and it is in a good place. So I think to have, how could things improve at the school? I think the school is improving. There's problems with the way the playground is set up and running. There's a committee put together right now and teachers who are talking about, so what does that mean? What should we do? And things are improving there. There's issues with the schedule. Teachers are not happy with the schedule. There's people who are putting together ideas about what to do and improve the schedule. There's issues with the way the assessment team is being run. And there's people who are looking and trying to figure out what to do about that. So I think there are things that need to improve. But I think there are people who are trying to figure that out. And I think it's happening. And it may not happen as quickly as I would like it to happen, but I think it's happening. And that's all I think you can ask for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.